TNA Against All Odds, June 6th.
The Nemeth at the top of the tag team division are one of the major components that are setting TNA off on like a rocket ship-like ride.
We're not the greatest tag team of all time because we've had 5,000 matches and we've won them. We're the greatest tag team because we went against one of the greatest tag teams of all time and beat them. Ryan pinned Jeff Hardy. Now we begin cementing the legacy.
I see dead people.
Jeff or whoever that was danced their ass off. It's fun to say, hey, I'm going to this other company to defend the title. And then when you lose, we have to call you out on it.
It's the other teams that need to cash in and try to prove against us because right now we are the top of the mountain.
Ryan and myself as the tag champs, we have to represent since an NXT guy is the TNA World Champion.
Why do you think it's taken so long to team you guys up?
Oh, dang.
Rewind, recap, relive. Woo! That's what the world is watching.
My guests today are on the path to proving why they are the best brother tag team in wrestling, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. Currently, TNA Tag Team Champions. Please welcome the Hollywood Hunk, Ryan, the Wanted Man, Nic, the Nemeths.
What's up, man?
What's up? Oh, I love it. There's the belts representing.
And we're not trying to prove anything. The Hardies are the best. We beat the best, so we are the best. We are the best.
We are the best. So it already happened. Yeah.
Tit for tit.
And that's the saying right there. Well, it's awesome to have you both here as we approach TNA Against All Odds, which is June 6th from Arizona State University. Now, Against All Odds is a very special anniversary for you guys. Now you're the best brother tag team, but a year ago, it marks when you about teamed for the first time in TNA. And I just love to hear what your thoughts are now, a year later, walking in to Against All Odds as tag team champions.
That was against the system, I believe. So
Yeah.
What a journey we've come on. We fell short that time, but since then we've only tagged a few more times together. And as I thought we were kind of two guys just wrestling last time. We are a functioning unit. We are brothers. We got the whole thing going. We have moved together. We have matching gear together. We are mentally on the same page. It took a while. We were kind of an odd couple for a little bit there, but we see the same goals and the same ways to get there. And screw people like Leon Slater who take liberties with a guy like me. I'm a beautiful man. We're a beautiful team here. Look what he did to me.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. That's the moneymaker. I mean, you can't get that.
I
Nic,
know.
what do you think about this journey for you and Ryan?
It's pretty cool. It's really very much like he said. And weirdly, all this time in the last 20 years, we were in one match together on the other side, and we touched each other for a second and got one hit on each face, and like that was it in 20 years. And then we had a couple matches in, and we had a little test drive to say, hey, can we make this team work? Because we have this gelling mentality behind the scenes and in sketches and movies and comedy. I'm like, can we make this happen in the ring? So after a couple matches under our belt, like I go, man, this is happening quick and good. So it's one thing to be like, hey, we just got handed this match and now we're fighting for the title. It's, we won a couple matches and we had to back it up too. And now that we're rocking and rolling, we're not the greatest tag team of all time because we've had 5,000 matches and we've won them. We're the greatest tag team because we went against one of the greatest tag teams of all time and beat them. Ryan pinned Jeff Hardy and we became the tag team champions. Now that has happened, now we begin cementing the legacy and getting to go rock and roll as a team together. And as we are constantly setting them up and knocking them down, now we're starting to cement our legacy and watch those guys they can have a couple attempts. They can have a rematch. They can fly in Leon Slater and have him sub in. All those things are fine. Anybody coming after us, I welcome it. We don't run away. I want to prove how good we are. And so far, we've done it every step of the way.
They sucked us into their dream world and we still came out on top. They tried to beat us with magical swimming pools and hypnosis and delusions and gothic babies casting spells.
Sure.
We still came out on top and we stole their titles. We took them to Rebellion in Los Angeles in front of all our family and friends and absolutely beat the Hardys. Like Nic said, I pinned Jeff Hardy. So What else is
That's
there?
that's a huge accomplishment. Why do you think it's taken so long, and how did TNA manage to get it right to team you guys up? Because you, like you said, you've been elsewhere together. What do you think it was that made it take so long?
Well, what do you think?
Oh, dang. Well, it's getting us one in the same company and on the same roster is one
Yeah.
thing. And then saying, well, I've had a pretty successful run, no matter what the win-loss record says. Everyone knows how good I am at my stuff. So it's like, well, I need to be in this position doing these things. And then having Ryan come in, and we had a couple interactions. I said, man, there could be really something good here. And luckily behind the scenes, people who are working, like, there's not like there's no spite for our booking. There's no, oh, someone did something organically. I'll put a stop to that real quick because my guy is supposed to be there. This is something to where it goes, hey, this could work. What do you guys think? Like, hell yeah, let's go. So Tommy Dreamer and creative and people behind the scenes, and Gail even, like, really giving us the opportunity to go see if we can get that fight or flight and make it work. And sink or swim on us. And so far, we've been rocking and rolling. And I know I keep saying that, but it's like we've only had a handful of matches together. And now, as we get better and we're on the same page in life all the time, so now we're applying it to the ring, and we're just going to keep getting better. So that's the best part. Hardies, friggin' legends, almost 40 years of absolutely being awesome at their jobs. They are absolute legends, Hall of Famers, all that stuff. And that's the reason I wanted to fight them. They had the titles and they're the best. And then we beat them.
Yeah. You know, Ryan, for you, I'm sure you have a lot of goals in your mind for your TNA career as it continues, but I would assume that somewhere on that list, winning the tag team belts with your brother was on there and that you checked that off.
You know, a year or two ago, I would have thought nothing like this would ever happen anywhere. I've been trying to do something with Nick since I was in NXT, AEW, everywhere. So the fact that I basically gave up on that ever happening. And then somehow through the magic of TNA and, like Nick said, the mind of Tommy Dreamer and the team of creatives there, and with Nick's own goals, you know, he's got his own thing going on in TNA. It's like, not that I'm going to show up there and go, hang on, I know you're on your own for the first time in 20 years. Let me just get in there. That's not what happened. What happened is something was very organic and strategically watered and taken care of from, and, you know, we're crushing it, to be honest with you. And I strongly believe the Nemeth at the top of the tag team division are one of the major components that are setting TNA off on like a rocket ship like ride, an unstoppable freight train success.
Ryan, is it true Nick was the reason you wanted to wrestle in the first place?
Well, yeah, I thought it would be just the dream to travel the world and wrestle with your brother. Who wouldn't want to do that?
Yeah. Was there something specific about like watching Nick's career that made you want to take the leap? Because I believe you started around 2010, right?
Well, I started in doing comedy first. I was doing sketch and improv comedy at college, and then in Chicago. I would spend summers in Chicago with like IO and Second City people training, and I thought that was the route I was going to go down. And then at some point, I thought, well, there's a physical limit on wrestling. There's not really a physical limit on doing any kind of dramatic or comedic acting, you know? So I said, I'll give it a try and see what it's like. And I went to OVW and started training there. And I kept it kind of quiet because I didn't want to announce like I'm definitely in. I love this. My whole life is this now. No, I think you really got to try something out and make sure before you start. It's the opposite of what it is now. Everybody has to broadcast everything on social media on some app 24/7. But to me, it was important to go secretly do this before. I am kind of crashing the party. Nick's already has a career going, you know. Got to do it in the right, respectful way. I think the way that timing worked out was great.
Yeah. I mean, I love the work that you guys are doing together now. Like you said, the matching gear, the theme, like everything. It's a great package, and I feel like you guys just complement each other so well. It's
T-shirts
also
coming soon.
What'd you say? Oh, t-shirts coming soon.
Yeah.
Good.
ASAP, possibly next week. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Announce that. Yeah, right here. Well, this may be a bit of an uncomfortable question, but I do want to ask. Before you guys beat down Matt Hardy in that steel cage, Nick, a lot of people weren't quite sure what side of the fence you stood on with things that Ryan was saying, and I'm curious what brought out the more ruthless Nic Nemeth that we're seeing right now.
It's one thing when it's just me, because then I know I don't have to worry about I look over my shoulder, but I'm just looking out for me. And now that Ryan's here, it's one thing to like look out for him, but then also have him watch my back so we can kind of look out for each other. And it depends what he was saying and what anyone else is saying. But my thought was, it's one thing to be really good at wrestling, but you have to make some things happen. You can't just go, look, I stole the show again. Look, I'm me. For 20 straight years, I took 2 weeks off in 20 years, skipped all the weddings, skipped all the vacations, skipped all the days off to let everybody know that I'm an Iron Man in this business. And now I have to like, I'm watching Ryan's back, but I know he's got mine. So I go, we can go above and beyond. Let's make something special happen. If you're going to go after somebody and I'm by myself, I go after the champ or a legend or someone who's on top. In this case, you go after both legendary Hardy brothers, and they're the friggin' tag team champions. You isolate, you take them out, and then you worry about the matches later.
Right.
You know, I thought the things that Matt Hardy was saying and doing over the few months leading up to that were very disrespectful and trying to drive a wedge between Nick and I, which, hey man, mind your own business.
Yeah.
So,
well said.
I'm concerned. In short, he started it.
Yeah.
Stay out of brother business. Yeah.
Yeah, damn right.
That's your own brother. Worry about him, buddy.
Well, on the road to Clash with the Hardys, you mentioned it earlier, you guys visited the compound. You went to the Hardys territory. I know you guys are a fan of horror. You even did your film, The Wanted Man, which was awesome. Nick super kicking a zombie was so cool. But
Ryan's the zombie, and Ryan did all the stuff behind the scenes, wrote the damn thing, set up everything,
zombie.
Took care of all the business, was the producer, the best boy, the gaffer, all that stuff.
well, that's awesome to know that. But what was it like visiting the Hardy compound? Because few have done it in the business. You make an elite list. How was that?
I thought it was crazy. It's you know, I'll burst your bubble here and say we're there going to work to film something. That's true. But I will also say that while we were doing it, I fully mentally went into the Hardy comp. Like sure there's cameras and lights and stuff, but I thought we are on a different planet right now. This is anything we're doing going to be like, we didn't sleep. It was just fly in, do this whole thing for 14 hours and leave. And I think it came out to be one of the coolest things that's ever happened in wrestling ever.
As you're being drowned by Matt Hardy in that pool.
No, I survived.
One of the coolest.
Stole these and we kept these, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Nick, you got a front row seat to seeing Jeff dance to Kendrick Lamar, right? Or Willow, I guess.
Yeah, whoever that was. Also, what wasn't shown, because we filmed a 14-hour day and a night all through the night and went right to the airport, is I can call, when someone does something good, I'll say it. Jeff or whoever that was danced their ass off, and the really good dancing didn't even make it because you only have so much time to go through to say what the crazy stuff that is happening to us at this compound. And before it even gets trippy, it is a crazy compound to begin with. I cannot stress that enough. And I get that it's only a handful of people have been there, because it is some wild. It is it's unlike any other place in the world. But just know that Willow danced for 5 or 6 minutes, and we gave it about a 40-second thing. And my goodness, there is nothing that the Hardys can't imagine or do. And that's why they're legends, because you can just go out there and wrestle. A lot of people are good at wrestling. You can train somebody to do the moves. When you go outside of the box, that's why those guys are absolute legends. That's why it was so fun to beat them and have Ryan pin Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Hey, there's really spooky stuff there. They have
yes.
There's a forest there with just a scary piano in the middle of the forest. That's really there. So
there's a lot of spooky stuff there.
And obviously there's like little creepy spooky kids running around. Like all the Hardy children are like kind of working together to try to scare us and creep us out. The gothic baby cast a spell on me. Like they're really there,
when you got hit with that gothic baby spell, I lost it. The song and everything.
Yeah, and then awesome. Hardy humiliated me in a roast battle in front of a haunted tree. I mean,
yeah.
Messed up, man.
That stuff's all happening,
Well, Nick, so on the topic of Jeff, in the lead up to Under Siege, you were able to get in there with him. And that match was 16 years in the making. How cool was it for you that the history between you two was so much a part of the buildup and everything surrounding that match?
That's what shows like the cool stuff about wrestling, because there could be a cool story, there could be a cool matchup, there could be a cool match, there could be a cool stipulation, but when you have the pieces of like the history that goes into it, and like knowing what those guys did to go above and beyond those attitude era times to be, not the 6'8" guys who had to fight through whatever was going on in the locker room behind the scenes, probably getting buried by everybody who didn't want them there, and then fighting through that and then being awesome in the ring, knowing that what they went through, and then knowing the journey that I was on, and we didn't really get in the ring too many times. So it made it cool because I know how good the Hardys are. But Jeff also, we had that one match when I was brand new, and I was like, man, this dude's good. I'm going to be that good one day. And I was like, 2 years in or something. And now now I have a chance to go against one of the best when I feel I'm very comfortable saying that I'm one of the greatest of all time. And I have no issue with that. And now I can see how I match up, how it goes, what happens. And that was just so great for me, because it'd be different. It's like, hey, 10 years ago we had a match and now we did, like, okay, cool. I was good, pretty good. And now I'm still good. This was like watching myself, be a beginner and go, now I'm on top. Now I'm the guy that figures out everything, and I have a game plan. I have the ring awareness down. I have all the issues, all the attributes, 10 out of 10 checked. Now I want to see not if I can hang with him. Now it's, can he hang with me?
Yeah. 2 world champions now going at it. That's so cool to hear. And Ryan, you pinned him too.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, what a prolific rematch that is, and all the chapters of life that's happened in between the world championship, it's a circle. And then,
yeah.
Also, I pinned Jeff Hardy. So
that's
case closed.
Good.
Yeah. The Nemeths are the superior siblings, and we broke into their world. We took their titles.
And and that's all that matters right there.
That's
and now you're holding the tag belts.
Yeah, right. Literally.
Champions, babe.
Champions. A big moment for TNA right now is that the world title was just won by Trick Williams at Battleground. And this is a historic moment because he puts him in a category similar to you, Nick. He is now a former NXT champion and TNA World Champion. And I just love to hear, as a former TNA World Champion, what came to your mind kind of seeing that title transfer over?
He is not happy about this.
Yeah, it's at work and at home, I was pretty pissed off about it. So I love everything TNA is doing. I love the relationship between TNA and WWE. It has been ridiculously fruitful on both sides, no matter what the situation is or what weeks go by. And it has been so good for everybody involved. And you kind of forget about that there can be a negative. Like Joe's done all this great stuff, man. He's got a grassroots campaign. He got everyone singing his song, everyone cheering for him, everyone downloading his music, and he goes to WWE or NXT, and that's the guy everyone's talking about the next day because he gets all the likes. He's got all the eyeballs on TNA. Him, the Hardys, myself, Tessa, First Class. Everybody, Macklin, Steph DeLander, Frankie Kazarian, everybody's got the eyes coming here, but Joe has really been on a rocket ride. And so he's done a lot of great stuff. Hell, he even beat me the second time. And I said, hey, man, listen, I don't think you're as good as I am. I don't know if you'll ever be as good as me. But last night, you beat me fair and square. And like a man, I said, you did it. You got me. And now you have the real responsibility. Not the fun ones, not the doing your turn and having everyone cheer and singing and laughing and going, oh, shucks. You now have the target on your back from everybody on the roster and now other rosters. So it's fun to say, hey, I'm going to this other company to defend the title. And that is a huge deal and a huge responsibility. And then when you lose, we have to call you out on it. You now lost a match to a very capable, going to be awesome, ridiculously good and jacked dude, Trick Williams, but he does not work here. Mm-hmm. So if we say thank you for getting all the eyes and butts in the seats, I got to say the opposite of that when you lose. Find a way to get it back, whether it is you, Santana, Moose, anybody. Get that title back, because the next time we go to work, which will be Against All Odds in Tempe, I don't know if I have to, not on TV, behind the scenes, either call a meeting or something and say, hey, listen, the fun and cool little bullshit games and like smirking and laughing and clicks are over with. This is serious. The TNA champion should be someone that I can rely on to back it up every time. I give myself No, I don't give myself an out ever. I get 10 out of 10 to back things up. And he backs it up 9 out of 10 times. So I don't know if that's someone who could be in the future, should be champion. But you know what? Everybody loses. I've lost 1,000,000 times in my career. 999,000 too many. But he gets a shot to bring it back. Get that damn thing back here. Let us have a champion we can be proud of that can go other places and defend it and come back home with that title. You get another chance. I don't care how. I don't care when. Get it back. But until then, we need to have a talk when we get to work.
You're going to bring him to kangaroo court, okay? It's going to be wrestler's court.
I love hearing your thoughts on that, though, Nick. Yeah, that's like a battle cry, like a very
Very
much
frustrated.
It's directly related to our situation right now, because now we have to be aware that not only does every TNA tag team want to come for the goods, but now I guess people from different entire companies can come and challenge for gold. So, we don't have anything to prove to anyone in NXT, but if they're hungry for it and they want to taste, they can get a taste.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely want to start to wind it down now. I mean, thank you guys both so much. And Ryan, that goes into my final question for you both. As we head into Against All Odds on June 6th from Arizona, what teams have to have their head on a swivel for the Nemeths? You mentioned now, there's all this cross-company stuff, but who should be put on the radar right now as we head into Against All Odds?
I think that we are the radar. It's everybody is coming for this. The Hardies were the best. We beat the Hardies. The only thing, we're the greatest brothers tag team of all time, but I think we need to establish ourselves as the greatest TNA tag team of all time. So whatever that means, whatever team that means, I don't know, you're at the top.
So because we have this awesome roster of knockouts, singles competitors, but we got First Class, who's doing great work. We have the Northern Armory, we have the Rascals, we have the Hardies. There's so many different aspects, teams, or people. Like hell, it could be Elijah and Joe Hendry teaming up. They've been teaming up. You never know. It could be anybody. But the best part is, like, we talk a bunch of trash and we're smug about it, but it's also like we back it up. We haven't lost yet, and anytime someone steps up, it becomes a match. We don't go, we'll figure it out some way 6 months down the line because we just got to hang out. We welcome the challenge from anybody, whether it's any roster, any company. I don't care, because we will back it up. We won't go, hey, isn't this a cute crossover that we have? We're going to other shows and then come back titleless. We back it up because I have to, because I don't sleep at night, because I know how good I am and how much everyone depends on me to back that up. And now Ryan and myself as the tag champs, we have to represent, since an NXT guy is the TNA World Champion.
And we will defend against anybody. They pulled a switcheroo on us and threw Leon Slater into a match with Matt Hardy. I mean, that's insane that they get a title shot. And I get one of these during the match thanks to, Leon Slater. But
my precious boy and his perfect face.
Yeah, well, it was perfect. But that's what I'm saying. We won. Okay, so it's the people and it's the other teams that need to cash in and try to prove against us, because right now we are the top of the mountain.
Absolutely. I mean, guys, well said from you both. Thank you both so much again. Against All Odds, June 6th. I cannot wait to see what the tag team champions do.
TNA Plus, stream it there.
Grab that TNA Plus app. The first month's free, man, and you just go to TNA Wrestling and check for tickets. But also, I think it's Leon Slater YIC perhaps is the password. You get a free month to TNA Plus. You get a free month to come check it out. When you watch it, you're going to be blown away. You get the entire tape library. You get all our shows coming up, all our matches. It's going to be awesome, man. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have some friends and family in town. We're going to kick some ass in Tempe Against All Odds. And then the next night, we'll do some Impact tapings. It's going to be great.
Rewind, recap, relive. Woo! That's what the world is watching.